We ran for 17 days. 17 days of cheap motels and back roads, sleeping in shifts, never staying in one place longer than a night. Lisa stopped asking questions after the third day. She'd seen it too, the tall thing in the almost face mask, standing at the edge of parking lots, waiting. Always waiting. My arms were covered now. Thousands of tally marks, layered on top of each other, some barely healed before new ones appeared. I'd stopped counting consciously, but my lips still moved in my sleep, whispering numbers. 1,462. 1,463. We were in a roadside diner in Wyoming when I finally understood. Lisa was in the bathroom, and I was staring at my arms, at the patterns and the scratches. And suddenly I could see it, not random marks, but a message. Not scratches. Letters. Something was writing through me. The message repeated over and over, "Count US free." I'd been thinking about it wrong. They didn't want me to count. They wanted me to count. To enumerate them. To give them numbers, to make them real. The bunker hadn't been sealed to keep something in. It had been sealed to keep people out. Because whatever was in there needed someone to count it into existence. And I had. Every night in my sleep, counting the scratches, counting the marks, I was giving them form. When Lisa came back from the bathroom, I told her everything. The true history of the Meridian Bunker. The experiments in the 1980s, trying to create soldiers who could exist in multiple dimensions at once. The subjects who had dissolved, spread thin across reality, neither alive nor dead but something worse. They existed as numbers now. Pure mathematics. And they needed someone to count them. You're saying they're using you to come back? I'm saying they already have. I showed her my arm. The newest scratches, still bleeding, spelled out 2000. That night, I made a decision. Lisa was asleep when I left the motel room. I drove back toward the bunker, 3 states away, and arrived at dawn. The warehouse looked the same, condemned and forgotten. I descended into the darkness. The water had risen. The corridors were flooded to my waist now, the concrete walls slick with something that wasn't water. I could feel them all around me, the counted ones, the enumerated souls, pressing against the thin membrane between existence and oblivion. 2,400. 2,401. In the central hub, the screen still glowed. Count US free. Count US free. Count US free. The tall thing was waiting. You counted, it said. Now we are. I'm here to finish it. Finish what? The count. Every soul. Every number. I'm going to count you all into extinction. It laughed, a sound like breaking glass. You can't. There are too many. We are infinite. I know. I pulled out the journal I'd been keeping. 63 pages of numbers, meticulously recorded. That's why I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to count every single one of you. I'm going to make you all real. And then I'm going to stop. Understanding flickered across its almost face. If you stop, you become just numbers again. Just mathematics. No form. No existence. But you'll count forever. You'll never stop. You can't stop. I smiled. I'd been counting in my head the entire time I spoke. 3,100. 3,101. I know. I sat down in the center of the room, opened my journal, and began to read aloud. 1. I counted the first soul into existence. 2. The second materialized. 3. 4. 5. The tall thing screamed as it became real, truly, completely real for the first time. It tried to stop me, but now it had form, had mass, couldn't pass through walls anymore. 300. 400. 500. They materialized all around me. Hundreds of bodies pressing into the room, the bunker, the world. All real. All counted. I don't know how long I counted. Hours. Days. Maybe years. Lisa found me 6 months later, still sitting in that room, still counting. The bunker had collapsed around me, but somehow I was still alive, still reading numbers into existence. She tried to pull me out. But I couldn't leave. Not until I was done. 1,700,462. I'm writing this now, between numbers. My hand moves automatically, scratching tallies into the concrete while my mouth speaks them aloud. I'll never stop counting. I'll never be free. But neither will they. If you're reading this, if you've counted the words, if you've heard the numbers, I'm sorry. You're counting now too. 1,700,463. Part 3 of 3, the final count.